I started perceiving this when I was in my first serious relationship when as a teenager, and I was obsessed with that girl. First of all, I was realizing that I'm trying to offer her novel experiences, but once I offered it, it's done, and I can't keep up. And as we're getting older, I think we were 17, 18, we were the same, more or less the same age. And her beauty is now like arising, so she's starting to appear more and more opportunities are being offered to her, and I'm not able to compete. I'm 18, I have nothing going on for myself at that point. I don't know who I am, where I'm going. I'm in school, I'm in university, I don't care. I have, right? So the little things that you do when you're 17, 16, okay, you've done it. I've done it better than anybody else. Congratulations to me. That's why I could score her and keep her for a minute. But then what? So it's boring now. And her appetites for life and her wanting more life. And when we're talking about worldly people, more life means more experiences, more highs, in other words. And then comes in the guys who are more established, who can provide this. So yeah, maybe I'm handsome, arguably. Yeah, but this guy's also handsome, but older and richer and more connected. So he can provide new experiences. And what is the girl looking for? Experiences. A certain kind of experiences, as we said, because these experiences give her a feeling of herself. So that's what she's looking for. That's all she knows. That's all we knew. So I'm like, I can compete. What am I going to do? I could feel her slip away from the moment I got her. I could feel her slide through my fingers, no matter how hard I tried to adjust myself to try to keep her. So, and I'm a deep guy, so I always brought deep experiences. Didn't change fuck all, besides that you would say, yeah, but it's special with you. Don't fucking change a thing that it's special for me, because that is special with me, because, right? Even that has, at the time, had a limit, because I have nothing going on for myself. So that really marked me. It really left a scar in me, and I stayed with it for quite some time. And I became obsessed after this. I need to be big as fuck. I need to be killing it at the clubs. I need to become what it is that my limited understanding thought I had to be, to have a girl, keep a girl, maintain a girl, all that nonsense. And when I achieved those things, I was very depressed. Because yeah, it attracted women, but they didn't care. Everything was shallow. You go to the club land, nobody cares. There's a feeling, but it's empty. Everybody's there to use everybody. This is not a criticism, it's just what it is. So I said, this is not working out for me. I'll jump a couple of steps. Then years later, I got into a relationship in my 20s with a woman, and we had a lot of affinities. And I was like, I'm not able, like, my life was much more established at that point than before, but it's so she can't relax in my presence. And to see her like this and feeling so incapable of providing her a place where she can relax and bloom, although she wanted to, we really had a beautiful relationship, a connection, but that's not enough. It's at one level, but nothing else it's not providing what's necessary. And that really affected me. It really hurt me. I felt very sad because I could see her, and she was a very honest girl, very sincere, spiritual, dare I say. I mean, she meditated a lot, so there's a lucidity. And I could see her looking at me and saying, well, do something. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't have it in me. I don't know what to do. And I could see her disappointment, and that really affected me, because there was a genuine sincerity between both of us wanting to create something. But I'll speak on my side, it doesn't matter hers. I don't know how. I don't have what's necessary. So all these things left marks in me, and I'm a very thoughtful individual. So when I live something, I don't just brush it off. I stay with this for some time. You could say I'm obsessed, but I'm not obsessed. I want to go to the bottom of it. I have an experience. I don't need to burn my hand 70 times to understand a fire is hot. Once is enough. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to extract everything I can so I don't have to burn myself again. That's the kind of individual that I am. And these experiences left mark on me, and I wanted to really go to the bottom of it. What's happening? Then I had another relationship. This is in my 20s. The girl was way younger, so I could provide lots of novelties for her. I was 26. She was in her 20s. She was 20. So I came from a whole world of spirituality and all this stuff, and she was very interested in this, and so I could bring all these novelties. It's very exciting for her, but I'm like, this doesn't matter, because now she's bored. And I'm bored, let's be straight. But so I'm like, there's got to be more, like, something's missing. There's something I don't understand. What's the relationship for besides trying to impress other people? What's the relationship for besides looking for a place to isolate myself and be safe and have love? Which is what most people use relationships for. Maybe a combination. What's the meaning of it? And my mind started to get into this. And I always had an interest in sexuality that was repressed because I thought something's wrong with me, of course. And relationships with girls, well, that's how it is. So you like stick to each other like glue. And then as I was maturing, like the need to learn and discover myself was growing, and I couldn't repress it anymore. So I would speak to this about this with the girls with who I was, and they'd freak out. And at some point, I made a decision after the last girlfriend. I said, I gotta figure this out. This is me. This is my path. I want to know who I am. I want to discover what sexuality is. I want to discover what my sexuality is. It doesn't mean go have sex with every girl. I want to understand what sexuality is. And then my mind was very clear. I'm like, that's my path. This is where I need to go. I already was on a path, but that's like it's specialization, if you'd like. Because I have women have such an important place in my life, and I don't know how to make it work. And everybody around me I see doesn't know how to make it work. It's like it's comical. It's like, this is not, your thing called a marriage is nonsense. It's ridiculous. Who the hell wants to live that? Right? And at that time, let's say I'm in my late 20s, early 30s. I've been with a lot of girls, or enough girls to know. I've been with older girls, younger girls, married girls. Not like I'm like, this is all of this that you see for the most part, it's a fucking joke. It doesn't work for me. Let's put it this way. It's a joke. This is the truth. But I don't want to say it like this. I just did. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. If that's what love is, and if that's what man and woman's relationship is, I don't want it. And I already had tried the monk mode, so I'm like, that's not for me either. There's got to be a secret potential that's untapped and very few people know of. And I need to figure this out, because there's something so primordial between the man and the woman. And neither the man nor the woman, no matter how hurt they are, can deny that. Yet when you bring them together, it's chaos, it's hell, or you need religious orders and rules to kind of govern you, because otherwise hell would break loose. And in my heart, I was, this doesn't make any sense. So you can't live with them, can't live without them, which is a popular expression. Yeah, but that's a problem, don't you think? You can't live with them, can't live without them. In other words, it doesn't work. No matter how you go at it, it doesn't work. Well, that's screwed up, man. The primary foundational relationship on earth is man and woman. The very first story of the Garden of Eden is man and woman. And that relationship, me, at the time, I'm unable to make it work. And she, no matter how, because let's be straight. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are assholes. Yeah, but when you get past the assholeness, people are looking for the same. Love, connection, value, purpose. Now, what people do, because they're sick, we can point a finger, she's a hoe. It doesn't matter who she is, she wants to love. And it doesn't matter what you've been through, you want love. So that's what, and you want to bring that love and make it expand. I think it's fair to say. And right? So I'm experiencing relations, and I'm seeing around me, I'm like, this is not love. That's my friend. You don't love that girl. You just cheated months ago with her, now they're getting married. This is nonsense. It's all just facades. So after having so many experiences and seeing it doesn't work, something in me said, something's wrong and I want to figure this out. I must figure it out. Because it doesn't make any sense that the primary relationship on earth is broken like this. And what did I see over the past years? It just got worse and 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 worse. And now you can see an agenda appear. But let's not talk about that. It's like it's just getting worse. More worse, more. It's like it's become. Imagine what it's going to be in 10 years, and 20 years, and 30 years, or 50 years. Well, something's wrong. That's obvious. So when you start to dig into the nature of the human being, man, nature of the human being, woman, well, now it starts to unravel itself, and now you feel like that's why it doesn't work. It's pretty obvious. But when you live at the surface and you don't know nothing about what lays underneath in the psyche, and even beyond, dare I say, you have no idea. So here you are our surface world is becoming more and more and more squeezed to the point where you live on a screen, and the point the screen is going to be in your brain. So our relations don't work at the surface, and those relations are experiencing even more tension every passing day. The tension is increasing. So this is insane. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Of course it doesn't work. It's impossible to work. This is not the place of work. It's like one layer of reality. That's not reality. It's one little layer. And all of us are obsessed with it. And it shrinks. It's shrinking. It's shrinking by the day. Obviously you're in pain. Obviously she's in pain. Obviously everybody's in pain. Obviously. But that becomes clear only when you start getting perspective. That means of more of what life is about and the grander dimensions of life. And when you put your nose into this, you're like, wow, okay, now I started to understand why the Torah, the Bible, starts with the story of Adam and Eve and a problem. This is the very root of the whole book is this. So the Bible is trying to tell you the story of humanity in an allegory. And it starts after God made everything, made a man and a woman, and there's a problem. Everything we know all the way to today is due to some primary issue that starts at the root between a man and a woman. So this is not a small problem. This is a fundamental problem. Most people don't want to deal with this. It takes you to the heart of the human experience. And like I keep repeating myself, people they want to live at the surface. They've been so conditioned, they love their slavery. They love it. They want that bag. And I always have to say, because people, I don't know who listens, I ain't got nothing against the bag. If it's a cool bag, it's a cool bag. I love cool bags. Shout out to the cool bags, and shout out to people who make cool bags, and shout out to the homosexual designer who made the cool bag, and all the people who constructed the bags, and the people who brought you the bag. It's just a fucking bag. So let's not, because people are, you know how they are. You're missing the whole picture. And nobody wants to talk about the picture, and if they do, it's just a dream of the big picture, or like the romanticized version of spirituality. But to actually start to dig into the psyche, this is a job for very few. And when I was younger and zealous, I thought everybody wanted to do this. And I'm like, no, ain't nobody want to do that. They like to talk about it. But people don't want to go into the underworld. They don't want to go into the darkness. They're scared, and rightfully so. So this is the times we live in. But for those of you who are listening to this, obviously if you fall in this madness, it's because you're a particular person. And there's an interest in discovering, dare I say, the essence of life, or how to make relationships work, or how to be a man in the true sense of the word. Well, you don't have a choice. You must go into that darkness and discover what you can't see. And as you do that, it starts to make sense. And you also realize the complexity of the situation. It's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. And I've been doing this full time for years now. It's a fucking mess. People are profoundly hurt. People are wounded. People are fucked up, in other words. And it's not her fault and it's not your fault. It's the way for sake of conversation, let's say it's the way it's designed. And there's a reason it's designed this way. But we're still looking for harmony. Where are you going to find the harmony unless you fix the problem? That's my approach to things. Taking a drug or palliating it doesn't, for me, I can't fool myself. If I could, maybe I'd do it. I just can't. I'm too sensitive for it. I can't lie to myself like this. So obviously it makes me that I attract a certain kind of people. A certain kind of guys come towards me, and it's like a certain kind of women also come to me. Women who are also unable, for whatever reason, because women have their end of the end. You have your side of the game, and they have their side of the game. Women who are also unable to lie to themselves, although they try. Everybody does. Yeah, but it doesn't work. So what kind of woman am I going to attract? A certain kind of woman who's unable to lie to herself anymore. So they come when they come, they're at a specific place in their lives.